Assalamu alaikum, my dear student. I hope everyone is fine. Today our topic is polar coordinates. So if you know your practice problem, we are on question number 8. Now question number 8 is in the following, change the Cartesian integral into equivalent polar integrals and then evaluate the polar integral. So this is the question. So it means again you have to solve the double integral, and so first you have to evaluate. But how you have to evaluate? You have to evaluate by using polar integrals. Now what is the method? How can you solve these questions? So the scheme is what you will do. So first you will change the Cartesian integral into polar integral. Cartesian integral mean xy. So into polar integral, polar integral mean it will be now in r and theta. So to change the Cartesian integral into polar integral, we use the following standard identities. So what we will do, we will replace x with r cosine theta and we replace y with r sine theta. So this we will suppose. So then our Cartesian integral will convert into polar integral when we will suppose x is equal to r cosine theta and y is equal to r sine theta. Now and dx and dy are dy and dx. So this you will replace with r dr d theta. So if you know this, it means you will replace x with r cosine theta, you will replace y with r sine theta, and then dx dy or dy dx in the integral. So this you will replace with r dr d theta, where r is distance from the origin and theta is measured from positive x-axis. R is your radius and theta is your angle. And you can measure like this. For example, if this is origin, so this will be your radius. So this is this will be distance from the center, and the angle theta. So this you will take from positive x-axis. So you will measure like this. Now we will move to our example. So our example was 0 to 1 integral and 0 to 1 minus y square square root x square plus y square and dx dy. Now here this x square plus y square, so this is function f of xy. So this function f of xy you will replace with f of r theta. So it means x you can replace with the r cosine theta and y you can replace with r sine theta, and then this dx dy you can replace with r dr d theta. And now what we will do with the limit? So because we replace x with r cosine theta and y with r sine theta, so therefore our limits will also change accordingly. Now from given integrals, when y is equal to 0, when y is equal to 0, because this limit is for x 0 and this limit is for y, because you can see. So it means here x is equal to 0, here x is equal to 1 minus y square square root, and here y is equal to 0 and to y is equal to 1. So now from a given interval, when y is 0, because we can take here y 0, then the value of x, so this is value of x is equal to 1 minus y square square root. So if you put here y 0, so the value of x will be 1. So your point is 1 0. So this x is 1 and y is 0. Similarly, when y is 1, if I put value of y here 1, because your y varies from 0 to 1, so then your x will be 0. So therefore your point is 0 1. And if you also take x0 at origin, what will happen? And obviously from the given integral we have the origin 0 0, y 0 0, because if you substitute, if you see here, your x also varies from 0 to this and y also varies from 0 to 1. So it means your x, so your x is also 0 and y is also 0. So then we will get this 0 0 point. So therefore we can plot these points and obtain the this figure. So we have 0.00, we have 0.10, we have 0.01. Now you can join this point. So this will you will not join like it will a straight line, because this will be a circular shape. So it means this will be your fourth part of the circle, and which has origin at 0 0 and which has radius as 1 unit. It is 1 unit here and 1 unit here. So therefore your radius is from 0 to 1. Your r varies from 0 to 1, because we said we would take r as a distance from origin. So the distance from origin is 0 to 1, and your angle varies from 0 to pi by 2. Why 0 to pi by 2? Because you can see from x-axis, if I take angle up till here, so it will be 0 to your theta is 0 to pi by 2. You know, from here to here it is 0 to pi by 2. Then from here to here it will be, let's say, 0 to pi, and so on. If it is a complete circle, then it will be 0 to 2 pi. So it depends on the question. Now we know all these things. Now we can replace. So it means your x varies from y varies from 0 to 1. Your x varies from 0 to 1 minus y square root x square plus y square dx dy. So this was your Cartesian integral. Now we can convert into the polar integral. So to convert into the polar integral, we know x we replace with r cosine theta. So this will become r square cosine square theta, plus y we will replace with r sine theta. So this will become r square sine square theta, and dx dy we can replace with r dr d theta. So in all these questions you will replace like this. Now this limit, because here dr we have written first, so the limit of x r is 0 to 1, because your radius varies from 0 to 1, and theta, so theta varies from 0 to pi by 2, 0 to pi by 2. So now rest is all very simple. You have to simplify. Now r square sine square theta plus r square sine square theta. So from here you can take r square common. So then it will be cosine square theta plus sine square theta. You know, cosine square theta plus sine square theta is 1. So using that identity, so we have r square 1. So and then r square multiplied with r. So this will be r power 3 dr d theta. Now you can integrate with respect to r first. So integration with respect to r. So this will be r power 4 over 4, and limit from 0 to 1. So if I substitute upper limit in 1 here, so it will be 1 by 4. If I substitute lower limit, it will be 0. So it will be 1 by 4, and then 1 by 4 if you integrate with respect to theta. So integration of 1 will be theta. So and then I can substitute upper value as pi by 2, and then lower value as 0. So we will end up with pi by 8. So that will be your answer. I hope this question is clear. Now homework is you can solve similar second question, second part of this question number 8. So that is your homework. So you should try this. And now the third part. Now third part is your x varies from -1 to 1, and your y varies from 0 to 1 minus x square root, and your f of x y is given as 1 here. So it means there is this function you will not change, this f of x y you will not change with r cosine theta and r sine theta, because here you can see only 1 is given. Only you have to change the limit. Now to change the limit, what we will do, now when x is -1, because this is limit for x and this is limit for y. When x is -1, then your y is this is y is equal to 0 to y is equal to 1 minus x square root. So if I replace here the value of x -1, because 1 minus 1 square is 1, so 1 minus 1 it is 0. So the value of y will be 0. So the point we will get when x is -1, so the value of y is 0. Similarly, when x is 1, then the value of y is again 0. So we get the point 1 0, and therefore by plotting these points, and similarly you can see when your x is 0, if I put x 0 here, say origin, if I take the value of origin, so x is 0, so then the value of y will be 1. If I put x 0 here, so then the value of y will be 1. So it means then we have also point x, when x is 0, your y is 1. So if I draw the points again, so this will be 1 0, this will be 0 1, this will be minus 1 0. You can join all these points. So now this is semicircle. You can see half circle. Now if it is half circle, and now radius is always from center. Remember, we cannot say here radius is minus 1 to 1. Radius we always measure from the center. So you so the radius varies from 0 to 1, and your theta varies from 0 to pi, because now this full like this. So up till here, so it is pi by 2, and now it is this. So this will be theta varies from 0 to pi. So now you can replace all the limits. So dy dx will replace with r dr d theta. F of x y is 1, so we write only 1, and then limit for r is 0 to 1, and your theta varies from 0 to pi. So you can simplify this. So it will be only r, and the integration of r is r square by 2. You can substitute upper value 1 and then lower value 0. So we end up with 1 by 2 0 to pi. And now if you integrate with respect to theta, so this will be 1 by 2 theta, and you can substitute upper value pi and then lower value 0. So this will be pi by 2. Very simple. Now your homework is part number 4. Again, now part number 5 I will solve, and then other parts you will solve yourself. Now part number 5 is minus 4 to 4, and so this is limit for x. So x varies from minus 4 to 4, and this is limit for y. So y varies from minus 60 minus x square root to 60 minus x square root, and your function f of x y is given as x minus 3y. So it means here you will replace x with r cosine theta, y with r sine theta, and limit you know how to replace. So for that, first we need points. So when x is minus 4, so then what will the value of y? So the value of y, we can substitute here, the value of y will be 0. Similarly, when x is 4, so then again the value of y will be 0. So we can substitute there. So when x is minus 4, the value of y is 0. When x is 4, again the value of y will be 0. So we have 0.40 and we have minus 40. And when x is 0, what will happen? If I put here, when x is 0, so then value of y will be 16 square root, it will be 4. And if I put here x 0, so then y is equal to minus 16 square root, so it will be minus 4. So we have again 2 points. So when x is 0, we have y is equal to minus 4 and y is equal to 4. So therefore we have 2 more points, 0 and minus 4 and 0 4. So now we have actually 4 points, minus 4 0, 4 0, 0 minus 4 and 0 4. So you can plot all these points. So this is 4 0, this is 0 4, this is minus 4 0, this is 0 minus 4. Now you can join all these. So this will become full circle. Now you can see full circle. So now again your theta will be from 0 to 4. Your radius will be from 0 to 4, because radius you can see everywhere 4. So your radius varies from center, and center is here 0, and distance from center to here or here it is 4. So your radius varies from 0 to 4, and your theta, now you can see theta, if I will start from here, so this will be full like circle. So this is from 0 to 2 pi, 360 degree. So 0 to 2 pi, so 360 degree you can see. So for our first example we solved, it was 0 to pi by 2. Then we second solved, it was 0 to pi, it means 180 degree, and now this is 360 degree, so 0 to 2 pi. So therefore your radius varies from 0 to 4 and your theta varies from 0 to pi. Now you can replace all these limits. So you replace x with r cosine theta, y with r sine theta, dy dx you can replace with r dr d theta. Your radius varies from 0 to 4 and your theta varies from 0 to 2 pi, and rest you have to solve only this. So now first you can multiply this r inside. So this will be r square cosine theta minus 3r square sine theta dr d theta. Now you can integrate first with respect to r. So if you are integrate with respect to r, so then theta will be just like constant. So the integration of r power 2, it is r power 3 over 3 cosine theta, minus integration of r power 2, it will be r power 3 over 3. So this 3 and 3 will cancel, sine theta, and then you can substitute the limit from 0 to 4 in r. So if you substitute, first you substitute 4, so 4 power 3 is 64 divided by 3 cosine theta minus 4 power 3 is 64 sine theta. And if you substitute lower limit, so r is 0, so 0 multiply this all, it is 0. Again if you put here 0, so 0 multiply with this all, it is also 0. So now if you simplify this, so this will be 64 over 3 cosine theta minus 64 sine theta d theta. Now you can integrate with respect to theta. So we know the integration of cosine is sine theta, and the integration of sine theta is minus cosine theta, and this minus, and this it will become plus. So now you can substitute upper value 2 pi in theta, and then lower value 0, so it will be sine 2 pi minus sine 0. And similarly here we can substitute upper value 2 pi, so it will be cosine 2 pi minus lower value is 0, so cosine 0. Now we know sine 2 pi is 0, you can find from the calculator, you can use calculator, and your calculator must be in radian, and sine 0 is also 0. The value of cosine 2 pi from calculator you can calculate, it is 1, and the value of sine 0 is also 1. Now if you simplify this, so this all become 0. So that is your answer. So I hope today's lecture is clear. Still, if you have any question, any problem, you find any difficulty, so please you can ask during our live session on Moodle in next lecture on Tuesday or on Thursday. So I will be very happy to answer your problem. So but first try to solve all these questions what I solved now, and then try to solve the homework. If you will solve this homework, it will help you a lot in the final exam. So take care of yourself, stay at home and stay safe. Assalamu alaikum.